All right, strap in, everyone. Today, we're going deep on Elon Musk.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, buckle up.
There we go.
We're going deep on Elon Musk, government budgets,
Okay.
and a project that's surprisingly familiar.
All right.
You ready for this? It's called DOGE.
DOGE. Like
So-
DOGE.
Like the meme.
Like the meme.
Wow.
But hold on. Before you picture,
Yeah.
any Shiba Inus out there,
Right.
this DOGE stands for Department of Government Efficiency.
Not quite the image that comes to mind when I think of the guy who launches rockets with memes.
Yeah, you're telling me we're actually talking about a plan.
Okay.
Spearheaded by, you guessed it, Elon Musk.
Okay.
And entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy.
Interesting.
With a goal, get this, of slashing $2 trillion.
$2 trillion?
$2 trillion
Wow.
from the federal budget. It's a lot of money.
It's a whole lot.
A whole lot of money. And our source for this deep dive.
Yeah, where'd you get this? Straight from the source, excerpts from what looks like their master plan.
Mm-hmm.
It's a document, very blunt, very to the point,
Okay.
titled Elon Musk DOGE.txt.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Wow.
So $2 trillion.
Yeah, $2 trillion. I mean,
Just to give everyone some context.
yeah, put that in perspective for us.
Okay, yeah. To put that into perspective,
Yeah.
imagine wiping out the entire budget.
Yep.
For, let's say, all the national parks,
Okay.
cancer research,
Right.
and still having enough left over to make some serious cuts
Oh, wow.
to education.
Yeah.
That's
It's hard to even fathom that much money.
It's a lot. And you have to remember, the U.S. already runs on a $6 trillion budget
Yeah.
in deficit.
Yeah, consistently, we're
What-
always
what-
running a deficit.
So basically they're saying,
Yeah.
let's just cut a
A
third
third.
of federal spending.
I mean, the ambition is
Off the
obvious.
charts.
Hey,
It's
yeah.
hard to grasp, and it makes you wonder, is this even possible?
Yeah, is it even remotely feasible?
What would it even take to make cuts that big?
Yeah, what are the challenges?
What are we even looking at here?
Feasibility is definitely a big question mark. I mean, think about it.
Hmm.
The ripple effects.
All right.
I mean, healthcare, education, defense. Pretty much every part of government
It would change
would
things.
be impacted.
And don't forget,
Yeah.
we're talking about Elon Musk here.
Right? The guy
Tech titan,
known for
Obviously.
Tesla, SpaceX.
formerly Twitter.
Yeah, all these industries.
But government,
Not so much.
not so much. So what's driving him to tackle something like government efficiency?
Right. What's the motivation here?
Yeah, especially when you think about his history.
Okay, lay it on me.
Well, Musk has openly supported
Oh, yeah,
Donald Trump, even campaigned with him.
that's right.
And remember the Twitter takeover, now X?
Yeah.
Seems like he likes reshaping systems.
He does seem to have a knack for that
And now his sights are set.
on the federal government.
So is he trying to actually make things more efficient?
Could
Or could this be
it be something else?
like a power play?
A billionaire with an agenda.
I mean, speaking of agendas, let's get into
Okay.
what DOGE is actually targeting.
Right. Shoot.
Their document specifically calls out
Oh, really?
the California High-Speed Rail project.
You mean that federally funded
Yeah.
endeavor that's been
It's been
mired in delays and
delays, cost overruns,
It's a mess.
a poster child
A total mess.
for infrastructure headaches.
Yeah, and Musk has been very vocal about this
Yeah.
for years,
Yeah.
criticizing it.
Publicly bashing it.
Yeah, pitching his Hyperloop as the better alternative.
So, hold on.
Yeah.
He wants to scrap a project that he's criticized
Uh-huh.
and maybe replace it with his own technology?
It makes you think, doesn't it?
That's not a
A
little...
little bit of a conflict of interest.
Yeah, it raises some eyebrows for sure. And remember, Tesla benefits from EV subsidies.
Yeah.
So could targeting those subsidies,
Could that be a way to benefit his own company?
it makes you wonder.
Good point.
So what else are they planning to cut?
Yeah, what else is on the chopping block?
They had those closed-door sessions with Republican lawmakers on Capitol Hill.
Right.
What went on in there?
So according to the Elon Musk DOGE.txt file,
Okay.
they talked about cutting
Nothing.
mandatory spending programs,
And Social Security.
Social Security, Medicare,
The big ones.
the big ones that
Let's see.
affect millions of Americans.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Cutting those would be like,
It'd be like a political earthquake.
it would be huge.
Absolutely.
I mean, those are crucial programs.
The safety net.
For so many people.
Huge portion of the population.
There's going to be pushback.
Oh, you can bet on it.
On both sides.
Fierce opposition from both sides of the aisle.
It sounds like getting anything done in Washington is going to be a fight.
Turning those ambitious goals into actual policy changes.
Yeah.
It's an uphill battle, for sure.
I mean, can they even expect any bipartisan support?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
With how divided everything is.
Right. The political landscape is already so polarized.
Yeah.
This kind of proposal is just going to ignite more division.
And that's not even getting into Musk's political spending.
Okay, let's talk about her.
Specifically, the money he put into getting Trump elected.
All right. How much are we talking?
$277 million.
277.
Maybe even more.
Wow. That's a serious chunk of change.
To put that in perspective,
yeah,
that's more than a lot of huge corporations
really
spend on lobbying.
In a whole year?
It's almost unheard of.
For a private individual?
Yeah, to have that much influence.
To wield that kind of financial power.
What's even more interesting is he was pretty strategic about it.
Oh, how so?
Tell us about his political action committee, America PAC.
Okay, so America PAC. Yeah.
That's where a big chunk of his political spending went through.
Mm-hmm.
It's a prime example of how, individuals with massive wealth can really amplify their influence.
By using these PACs.
On elections.
And he didn't stop there.
Really?
He donated to all kinds of other groups.
Right.
There was one that really stood out to me.
Oh.
It was called the RBG.
PAC. RBG.
Like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the late Supreme Court Justice.
Wow, okay.
And this PAC
Yeah.
was specifically designed to counter concerns Trump's stance on abortion rights.
It's
pretty fascinating.
It really shows you how calculated all of this was.
He wasn't just throwing money around.
No.
It was all very targeted.
He had specific objectives.
So we have Musk.
Yeah.
This tech disruptor diving headfirst into politics.
Like a giant.
With tons of money.
Bankroll.
A huge bankroll. And laser focused on reshaping the government.
It's somebody else.
This DOGE project.
Yeah. And his political moves.
It's a lot to take in.
It's a lot to unpack, right?
Absolutely.
And we're just getting started.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, yeah. Stick around because this deep dive is about to get even more interesting.
Okay, I'm hooked. You know, this whole DOGE thing, it's got me thinking.
Yeah.
Imagine the federal budget.
Okay.
Like a giant pie.
Okay, I like where this is going.
And Musk and Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
They want to take a huge slice out of it.
Okay.
But what does that actually mean?
For, like, the average person?
Yeah, like whose slice are they going after?
That's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
Because it's not just numbers, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about real people.
Real people's lives.
And the Elon Musk DOGE.txt file.
Right.
It's interesting, but
it's kind of vague.
It doesn't really give us the full picture.
No, it mentions, like, goals.
Right.
But no specifics.
So what happens when you start cutting?
Yeah. What are the consequences?
Are they thinking about that?
The unintended consequences.
Like, take scientific research, for instance.
Okay.
Cutting funding there seems like an easy way to save money.
Yeah, at first.
But what about innovation?
Right. What about the long term?
Technology, you know?
Yeah, the advancements we might miss out on.
Or environmental protection programs?
Oh, yeah.
Cutting those could really backfire.
It's short-term gains versus long-term vision.
That's a good point.
You need both to govern effectively.
Yeah, you can't just barge in.
And just disrupt everything.
It's like using a chainsaw.
A chainsaw.
To prune a bonsai tree.
Effective for removal, maybe?
Yeah.
But not very nuanced.
No, not at all.
And this is where you need
the experts.
The career civil servants, the policymakers.
They know how things actually work.
They understand the intricacy.
They provide that counterbalance.
To the disruption.
Okay, so let's say DOGE gains some momentum.
All right, they get some traction in Washington.
They start implementing these huge cuts.
Okay.
What would that look like?
For everyday Americans.
Yeah, for regular people.
Well, think about the programs they mention.
Like Social Security.
Social Security, Medicare.
Those are so important.
Lifelines for so many people.
Seniors.
People with disabilities.
Cutting those would be devastating.
And education funding.
Yeah, what would happen there?
Larger class sizes.
Oh, no.
Fewer resources for teachers.
Yeah.
Limited opportunities for students.
Even small cuts.
Could have huge ripple effects.
Like a chain reaction.
Throughout the whole system.
What about infrastructure?
Oh, right.
Roads.
Road maintenance.
Public transportation.
Yeah, even access to clean water.
Those affect everyone.
They impact everyone's quality of life.
And these cuts wouldn't just happen out of nowhere.
No.
They would hit the people.
We're already struggling.
The hardest.
Low-income families.
Rural communities.
Vulnerable populations. It's scary.
Yeah. It feels precarious.
Like we're on the verge of this huge shift in how the government works. And we don't even know what the impacts will be.
Makes you uneasy.
Yeah, I mean, we're in uncharted territory here.
It's unprecedented.
A billionaire, no official position.
Trying to reshape the whole country.
It raises big questions.
About wealth.
About influence.
In a democracy.
And the role of all of that.
Yeah, because it's not just about...
If these cuts are possible.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah, it's about...
Our democracy.
The broader implications.
If people with money...
Can just do whatever they want.
What does that mean for the rest of us?
Right, for accountability.
Transparency.
How do we know?
Who's really being represented?
Yeah, are the interests of all Americans being considered?
Or just the wealthy and powerful?
That's the million-dollar question.
It really highlights for people to be informed.
And engaged.
So what can people do?
If they're concerned about DOGE.
Yeah, if they're worried about these cuts.
What actions can they take?
To make a difference?
Well, first and foremost, stay informed.
How do they do that?
Pay attention to what's happening.
With DOGE?
Yeah, what they're proposing.
What are lawmakers saying?
They'd be on the headlines.
Don't just skim.
Do your own research.
Form your own opinions. All right, so knowledge is power.
Yeah.
What else can people do?
Well, once you're informed, reach out.
To who?
Your elected officials.
Senators, Congress people.
Call their offices.
Write them emails.
Go to town hall meetings.
Let them know how you feel.
About DOGE.
About the potential impacts.
They need to hear from you.
They work for us.
Don't forget that.
So make your voice heard.
Yeah. Don't underestimate the power of that.
Citizen engagement.
Get involved. Make a difference.
What else?
Consider supporting organizations
that are doing good work,
that advocate for the programs you care about.
Okay.
There are tons of nonprofits,
advocacy groups,
working to protect Social Security,
Medicare,
educate,
all these vital programs.
Donating your time,
money,
can make a big impact.
So there's a lot people can do.
Yeah, lots of avenues for action.
Stay informed, engage.
Support organizations.
But it all starts with
awareness.
With knowing what's going on.
Yeah, this isn't just about
Elon Musk.
Or Vivek Ramaswamy.
It's about our country.
About the future.
The role of government.
Yeah, and making sure
everyone is represented.
Not just a select few.
It's a crucial moment.
For civic engagement.
The choices we make today
will have lasting consequences.
So let's keep digging. Let's try to understand
Musk's motivations.
What's he really after? This whole conversation about DOGE and Musk's political spending, it really brings up something important.
What's that? Transparency
in government.
Right.
Like if we don't know who's influencing policy decisions, how much money is involved, how can we as citizens make informed choices?
It's fundamental, bro.
The Elon Musk DOGE.txt file.
Yeah.
It gives us a peek.
A little glimpse.
Behind the curtain.
Into this world.
Of backroom deals.
Powerful people.
But it doesn't tell the whole story.
No, it leaves a lot of questions unanswered.
We need more transparency.
Definitely not less.
We're trying to solve a puzzle.
With missing pieces.
Half the pieces missing?
We see the big picture.
The general idea.
But the specifics.
The detail.
The programs they're targeting.
The ripple effects.
It's all kind of secret.
Shrouded in secrecy.
And that lack of transparency.
Speculation.
Mistrust.
Makes people wonder.
Who's really benefiting?
Whose interests are being served?
And that leads to another issue.
Okay.
The ethical side of things.
Right.
Musk's stepping in.
With no official position?
He's not bound by the same rules.
As elected officials.
He's not subject to the same oversight.
That's a problem.
We have these systems.
Checks and balances.
For a reason.
It's supposed to prevent abuses of power.
And when someone operates outside of that,
it raises red flags.
It's like he's found a loophole.
A way to influence policy without any scrutiny.
It's dangerous.
A slippery slope.
For sure.
What about fairness?
Yeah.
Equal representation.
In a democracy.
We should all have an equal voice.
It shouldn't matter
how wealthy you are.
Or who,
When do people use their money?
To bypass the system.
It undermines.
That fundamental principle.
Are we moving towards a future?
Where the lines are blurred.
Between private wealth and public power.
A world where billionaires
can just dictate policy.
It's a scary thought.
It's a trend we need to watch carefully.
We need a serious conversation
as a society
about how to protect our democracy
in this new landscape.
Make sure our system is strong enough
to handle these challenges.
So what does all this mean?
What are the takeaways?
What should our listeners be thinking about
After this deep dive
into DOGE
and Musk's ambitions?
I think the biggest takeaway is this.
Okay.
We can't just sit back and watch.
You can't be passive.
The future of our country
The health of our democracy.
depends on us. Informed citizens.
Engaged citizens. We need to pay attention.
Ask questions.
Hold our leaders accountable
Don't just assume.
that everything will be okay.
We have to shape the future.
That we want
Ourselves.
for future generations.
This isn't just about
Elon Musk.
or Vivek Ramaswamy.
It's about our democracy.
Our values.
Making sure everyone's voice is heard.
Not just the wealthy and powerful.
It's been a fascinating journey.
Yeah, a little unsettling at times.
Exploring the intersection of wealth
Technology.
and political power. I hope our listeners
will take this information.
and get involved.
Make their voices heard.
Thanks for joining us.
On this dope dive.
Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep pushing for a better world.